Hi everyone, it's Natalie here, and this lump is Anar, and this tail is Finn. So yeah, it's Sunday night, and what a weekend! It's been very full. I've spent the day. I didn't go to the studio today. I normally come on a Sunday night and show all my fun goodies and things that I've made or pulled out of the kiln. But I might take a break and go get something that Tom pulled out of the kiln that was pretty stinking awesome. Because if you can't show your own pottery, you might as well show your partner's, right? And I spent the weekend working again, which is not uncommon. I think, if you're starting your own business, that's just the name of the game. And I rarely feel like I'm done. I rarely feel like I'm done. I can think of like a dozen things easily off the top of my head that if I wanted to, I could easily say, or like, oh, this is a definite. I need to get this done. This has to happen. And you have to draw the line somewhere, because you can stay doing that kind of thing all the time and never stop. And I am starting to find that like I need to be sure that I'm scheduling my time better. I've got a rat sneezing on my back. Who's back there? And one that just sneezed up here. I think this is Anar wandering around up here. Booger, is that you? Oh no, it's Finn. You can see the blondie there. Okay, the little one, Anar usually goes down my back. So anyway, yeah, I could spend all that time like doing nothing but work. And I'm not sure that I would be any happier. You can only do so much. And yeah, I guess I'm realizing like I need to readdress like balance and so forth, which I'm doing. And cutting very, very gently, slowly, kind of releasing stuff that I don't need to do, don't need to worry about, all of that. Basically substitute teaching. Because when you have so many different, lines of income going at one time, I think that's where I find it really draining. It's just too much. And the subbing is in some ways really delightful, but the rigidness of schedule, the drain of energy a lot of the time, and so forth can be really too much. So, I mean, I think I'm going to have to limit it to like, if there's days when I can take a day sitting basically at a desk at the high school for a day where I'm really doing very little besides administering tests or, really basic stuff where I can basically double my income by working on other things. I'm going to just not do any more of it. I was with the third graders earlier this week, and that was just... Suffice it to say, I mean, it was delightful. I wonder if I can find it. What did I do with it? It's here somewhere. One of the little girls, they were so good this time. Oh my gosh, they were so good. And one of the little girls, is this? Is that where? Yeah, one of the little girls at the end of the day, her name's Lily. She said, "Oh, Miss Jones, I have something for you." She went to her little locker because, third graders need lockers somehow these days. And she brought me this sweet little abstract painting that she made with her sister. And it's even on like a little canvas panel and everything. I thought that was super, super sweet. So I've been keeping it next to my desk, but I can't even show you my desk right now because I've been in this room all weekend. And it's really not great right now. It's really, I need to do some major energy clearing. Before I came on to do the video, I went ahead and lit candles, and I've got behind me where you can't see because of the boys, there's incense and a really nice smelling candle burning and so on. But I really wanted to come in and say hi, being the way I am, and just share some of the things I've been up to. And it's the full moon today. So I've got a couple of decks that I thought, I've been kind of sitting on these for about a week. I'd like to go ahead and open them and unbox them. It's the full moon. Why? This is the perfect time. But before I do that, I'm going to show you what I've been working on. Kind of like when I need little breaks and I kind of am procrastinating on something I need to do, like more paperwork, more grading, more reading, more internet doodah, desk-based work stuff. And I also want to show, I think I will go get some of Tom's pots, actually. So first I'll show you what I'm doing. I wanted to put together a book or a journal to hold all of my tarot spreads, because I'm frequently finding now that, like, when I'm out of the house and I'm working for a client, they'll say, is there, they'll tell me a question that they have, right? And I'll think, oh, I know the perfect spread for that. Hang on. And I end up going into my phone looking for it, and it's really such a break in the flow, and there are several spreads that I'm thinking I want to add to my repertoire on Etsy as well, like as additional Etsy offerings. And I started thinking, because I was expecting to have 2 major gigs this month, like in-person reading gigs. One was a psychic fair, which has gone bust. It's too bad. They just said that they're gonna not do it again. They've been running it for 40 years. And they decided that they're done. They don't want to do it anymore. And so they're only going to feature the few psychics they've been working with for a very long time, make sure that the fair is really oriented around them as a sign of gratitude. So those of us who are new, they've just asked us to be kind and understanding about it, which I totally get. But it would have been a 2-day psychic fair with and it's one of the few that exists, in all of the whole area. That's such a shame. So, how sad. I wonder if they need somebody to take it over again, because they used to do it 4 times a year. I don't know. But it's the friend of mine that I was talking about a while ago who put me onto this, who's a doula and a tarot card reader and has worked in the theater. So we had three major things in common. And it was she who put me on to that. So I don't know, maybe they need somebody else to take it over and organize it and do that. I don't know. It won't be me that does it, because I'm not good at that stuff, and I got enough stuff to organize right now, but I'm sure somebody would love to do that. So I hope they tell somebody. And in the meantime, I do still have a really cool gig coming up. I'll go ahead and plug it for anybody who's local and wants to come by. It'll be at the Synergy Elixir Bar, which is basically CBD cannabis related stuff, and it's non-alcoholic, which is kind of awesome. And they do, I can never remember the name of this thing. I want to say everything from Krakatoa to crack rock. It's crack. I can see it written. I just have to slow it down. Kratom, whatever that stuff is. Anyway, they do all of that stuff there with different kinds of health-based elixirs, and it's all based on health, basically. So it's not recreation. It's well-being related. Anyway, they do a Witchy Wednesdays, and I am not a witch, but I aspire. I don't really aspire to be a witch. I admire witches. Maybe that's better. I deeply admire all my witchy friends. But they have a Witchy Wednesday. They bring in all of the tarot card readers and angel card readers and astrologers and numerologists in, and they invite them to have a good time, do their stuff. So it's 6 hours, I think, in one evening. I think 4 to 10 p.m. So it's not a small gig. It's a significant period of time, and they manage all of it. So they, you set your prices, no table fee. They do ask that you do some of the publicity yourself and everything. So I'll be putting it all over the social media. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. But it now means I have next weekend open, which is fine. It's fall. It's October. What could be more fun or more wholesome, right? So all of that is just to say, the way I decided to do this, to create my little book, because I thought, okay, I could make a book. I could go ahead and make and bind a book. But that takes so much time. And I thought, the best thing would be, and how would I organize it? And what if it's out of order and it's not in an order that's easy for me to find stuff and blah, blah, blah. And I started thinking the best thing would probably be to do index cards. Anyway, the idea evolved because I have like a really cool way of making books out of old file folders and rah, rah, rah. I'm a book person. I'm a bookmaker. This is not rocket science. Anyway, I decided to take some of my prints that are like not, you can't really see what the plants were that I used, although this one's got some nice color in it. And I decided to use them for putting the spreads on, right? So kind of like I have an index card of spreads. So both of these are from Tarot of the She. Here is one. I can't remember where I found this because I've been putting the sources at the bottom, so I need to find the source for this one. Then I have two different self-love spreads, and because they fit so beautifully onto either side of the card, I went ahead and did that. Jeff from Tattooed Spirit, I keep meaning to put his last name there because I couldn't think of it when I was doing this. But yeah, and then I'll put another one of his on the back. And I've got several more, but I had all of these same-sized print, bits of prints that never, although that one's not too bad. But anyway, they're not like the strong prints that I've made, but they're still pretty. They're still pretty printed paper, that's beautiful. And it shows, writing well. And a lot of my geranium prints ended up in here, apparently. So I thought, well, that's a good use of that paper, the print rejects that I've got, because anybody who does eco printing has boxes and boxes and boxes of print rejects, where you're like, yeah, that's kind of a nice piece of paper, but it's not something I can frame. It's not part of this whatever that I'm making, etc. So yeah, so that's cool. And then what I'll do is I can separate them by subject or topic, and I will make like a little folder book, where like the pages are folders that have the topic, and I can arrange them that way and make it really cool. But either way, even if I don't get that part of it done, super portable, super easy to pull out. So, ta-da! So that's how I've been productive, like artistically this weekend, while I've been kind of sitting and thinking and regrouping and whatever. Both rats, I'm pulling this away because they are both on my back right now. Woo, let's see if we can get them in frame. They're like back here hanging out. I don't know why they do that. It's just like secure for them to be there. The last two I had would hang from my neck, so who knows? Anyway. Oh, I'm going to go get Tom's pottery. I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. And that flushed at least one of the boys somewhat out of the back area there. Oh, here comes a second one. So, some of you may not know this. Look at that. But Tom was and this, he just like throws in random fishtail. He was my pottery teacher, and that's how we met. And before you say it or ask, no, it was nothing like the movie Ghost. It just wasn't. First of all, I am not Demi Moore. I'm not Demi Moore, and Tom is definitely not Patrick Swayze. Who could be, he was one of a kind, but yeah, no, we're nothing like that. Little moment there. We're nothing like that, and we're both way too nerdy, and like Tom is definitely in the nerd category. He would even tell you that. So yeah, no, nothing like that. We were both way too shy and nervous and ridiculous in terms of our confidence and ability to gauge each other. But anyway, holy crap. This is just so pretty. I don't even know how to describe it. We still got to get the kiln wash off the bottom, but it's so beautiful. And he doesn't like this one, people. He doesn't like this one. Yeah, he's nuts. It's so pretty, like that brown mixed with all the blue turquoisey green color. And these are like leaves that he's brush painted on. Stunning. Then he made this one. Oh my gosh. You look at that and the leaves shine. He's not happy with how that glaze turned out. And I'm trying to remember what it was that, oh, was it that? Oh, I know what it was. The inside glaze didn't turn out the way he wanted. I don't know. I think he's the least unhappy with this one. But, I mean, look at that brushwork. It's just, and okay, I should also say, too, this is a glaze. Oh, there's another hidden fishy. I love when he does that. He'll hide fish and UFOs and all kinds of fun stuff inside pots. See, it even brought Sven out. He's excited. Yeah, I mean, just gorgeous. And then he signs the bottom, so it's got that shine going on there. Yeah, I mean, he's just marvelous. But yeah, he'll hide little fish and things and, various places in these. And this was a glaze that he invented himself. So was this other one that was on the last one. Actually, all of these are his glazes. He's mixed or invented all of these glazes. This one, oh my gosh. The brushwork, the kind of watery, cupsy quality to it, to this bowl. I mean, look at that. I don't know how well this is going to show. Maybe it's better. Is it better here? I don't know, but he's so good. And I learned so much about like the way that I create and use brushwork myself because of him, because he's so good. This one, you can see the like texture going on that's like bubbles. That's the problem with this one. It's called blistering, and when pots do that or glazes do that, really, because the pots don't, it's usually the glaze. But when they do that, unfortunately, it's not food safe anymore. The texture's not very comfortable either, but basically, if you get food into those little areas, it just holds bacteria and it's a disaster. So you really don't want to use bowls that have that flaw, at least not for food. So we'll probably plant something in it and have it in the house as a planter, or frankly, because so much of that happens, from time to time when he's experimenting with glazes, this one might get the sledgehammer. So, I know a lot of people don't cringe too much. A lot of people really get upset about that. Why would you do that? And it took me a long time to understand myself. Anyway, I had to share that because it was just so much fun. And look at Sven. He's so cute. Hey, Sven. So yeah. So I have two decks that I want to pull out and just flip through for a second. One, check it out. It's the Moon Oracle of the Sidhe by John Matthews and Will Kingan. So the interesting thing here, as though there weren't plenty of those already, I had it right there. It's over across the room. He also did the Shaman's Oracle. These two guys did the Shaman's Oracle. And Emily Carding of Tarot of the Sidhe, of course, has also studied with John Matthews. And I'm interested and curious about his books and his work. And I've downloaded, not that I have any time to read at the moment. I'll have to show you what I'm reading towards the end of the video. Oh, come on now, little oracle. I wonder if I've got my bone folder over here. Yeah. It's a little bookmaker's tool. I'm just going to use it to get under the edge here, although this box might just not survive being opened if it's going to be this tight. Yeah, that worked okay. So tuck box. Oh, the tuck box. Oh my gosh. Okay, and there is a downloadable PDF manual that comes, and I haven't gotten that ordered yet. Wow. So here are the backs, and you know what's coming because I can't resist. Ooh, hi. Acquainting oneself through the smell of the tarot or the smell of the box. Oh, this one smells more like Office Depot, but the cards have a nice smell. Okay, so they're definitely like a coated card stock. No idea what any of them means yet, but we shall soon find out because I'll get the PDF. Oh, wow. So they're numbered. Oh. I kind of love that there is no... Sven wants to be in the shot. I love that there's no like keywords or anything to disrupt the flow. Wow. Yeah. So Will Kingen did the artwork, which doesn't surprise me in the slightest because he's also the guy that did the artwork for the Shaman's Oracle. And this definitely, to me, looks like the same, similar aesthetic, you know? Oh, a hagstone. We have so many of these in this area where I live. Giant rocks filled with holes like that. People will use them to build gardens with and like put them around, like to build a wall around their garden. Wow. Oh my goodness. Wow. So once I get the PDF, oh, look at that. That's like glyphs in a rock. So once I've got that PDF downloaded and everything and like ready to go, I will, oh wow, look at that. I'll do a walkthrough with all of the cards and, oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, it's the Moon Oracle of the She, so that's why I was like, I gotta pull it out. Oh, hell, we'll just walk through all of them. Why not? It's a long video anyway, isn't it, Stan? The boys are just kind of waking up from their late afternoon super slumber, and then they'll be up most of the night. Oh my god, that's so beautiful. I love it. Oh, wow. Oh, I mean, this is just, I mean, couldn't the whole landscape of everything look a lot like this? PayPal? Oh, look at that. That makes me think of, the Sigilla Medievalia because there is this like I forget what she calls it. I'm new to it. I don't know it yet. The videos are made. I just got to edit them and put them together. Um, what is it called? Like the language of the angels, like an angelic language. That's what that reminds me of. Or constellations or something. Ooh. Yeah, all of these the glyph of the she. Everywhere, everywhere. Oh, wonderful. There's going to be a lot more. I'm very, very curious about she, fairies, fae. I don't know. I've had a lot of experiences of late that brought back some memories, or I've run into, there's an author I really like. I keep meaning to put his details in videos. I've got to remember to do that. His name's Joshua Cutchin. If you haven't come into contact with his books and you have interest in the fae, he's remarkable. He's not talking about working with them. He's more more of like a researcher, and I would say his angle is fae and fairy folklore, but he's looking at modern paranormal things that we don't necessarily associate with the fae in pop culture, and then he's like drawing those conclusions back and forth. And suffice it to say, I keep finding that I'm shocked when I'm watching these or, listening to him talk, or I read a book that he's written and it's like, what the, you know, I've had that happen. That's really creepy. I didn't realize. So I'll just share one of them since it's a full moon and we're looking at the full, what is it? The moon oracle of the Sidhe. But one of them is, he's written an entire book called The Trojan Feast, and I have it. It's really wonderful. And in that book, he talks about basically different food-related things and, legends and stuff. And then, episodes where people have had weird stuff happen around food and they thought it was an alien. And, it's all over the map. I mean, he covers all sorts of stuff. At any rate, it's not an uncommon thing that people will report, especially small children at a young age, sometimes a nonverbal young age, being tricked into eating something horrible that will make them sick or kill them. And the child will think that what they're eating is something really delicious. It's like put in front of them as candy and, as if it were candy. And it's something, it's inexplicable. They'll eat a shocking amount of it and then become horribly ill. And it will either kill them or it will change them somehow. So there's a famous story in my family about when I was about a year old, a little over a year old, somewhere around a year. And my mom was a smoker. And apparently I got into a giant ashtray and I ate everything in the ashtray. Like it was one of those, my parents said it was one of those giant ashtrays that was just filled to the brim with cigarette butts, ashes. I mean, just nasty, nasty. And that was in the time where people had those in their house, like where it was normal that if people had a smoker in the house, you just had ashtrays all over the place and nobody thought anything of it. And I don't know. No one knows. No one knows how it happened. And I have absolutely no memory of this. But boy, my parents sure as heck remember it like it was yesterday because they had to clean up after it. But apparently, yeah, I sat and I ate. They didn't see me do it. They came in just as I was finishing doing it. And then, I was really sick, like horrifically sick for a while. And the pediatrician said he's never heard of that happening. He's never seen anything like it. I ate an entire ashtray full of cigarette butts and ashes at about a little over a year old, before my sister was born. My mom would have been pregnant. That was probably how that happened on some level, because when my mom was pregnant, she was horrifically ill with my sister, just not well at all. And it nearly took her life, actually, to be pregnant with my sister. So there was a lot of that early life where I was just left alone. Not because my mom intended to or because she wanted to be a bad mother. And I actually think both my parents were home at the time this happened. So, because they both remember being there. Can you imagine though? Like, what would you have to do to enchant an ashtray full of cigarette ashes to get because they don't taste good. Any small child would take a taste of that and be like, ooh, that's horrible, and then not eat it or cry. I mean, I've worked with toddlers, even the ones that don't come from fussy households that are privileged, right? Which is kind of normal now. Because kids, even in like not very privileged, like the parents will starve before they'll let their kids not have everything they want, right? And I don't have any judgment of that at all. I'm just saying, like, when I was a kid, even a really privileged kid was not being given all the stuff all the time. And I would say it all depends on perspective. My parents weren't wealthy, but they could pay their bills. It was also a very different time. They could live off of one teacher's salary. Just one. And it wasn't a very big salary, even then. So times have changed. Anyway, that's when I realized those kinds of things happen, and I then kind of reframed it, like, why would a child eat? Anyway, that, along with several other things, kind of shifted my perspective, right? So another Sunday night, another fairy story, right? So, oh God, and now I'm smelling cigarettes. There is an alleyway behind my house, and I do have the window cracked, and I do have incense burning. It's probably I don't know. It's probably the suggestion, or who knows? I don't know. I'm I have a very skeptical mind. This is part of my problem, where a lot of people in our community would just be like, "Oh, that's what's happening. Oh, this that my skeptical academia mind is still really struggles with things." And I think I've spent so much of my life being gaslit by people and told that I was nuts, or that you just kind of get sick of dealing with that, so you start to learn how to rationalize as much as you possibly can. I don't regret that. I don't think that's a bad thing. Having more grounding for me is not a bad thing at all. But I guess I'm just at a point in my life where I'm willing to look at those things from all of the angles. So, yeah, there we are. Oh, boys, they weigh so much when they're on your back. So I hope they're not back there peeing on me. No, thank God. Okay, sometimes they're just like, oh, I'm so comfy in my little hammock, I'll just pee. It's horrible. Anyway, that said, moving on, I also have the Dreamtime reading cards. I can't believe how inexpensive things are on Amazon these days, folks. Sometimes it is alarming. Alarming. And yet, to get a beautiful deck like this, to have it be so inexpensive, is just, what a blessing. What a blessing. Anyway, so many of my friends at this moment in the tarot community are in Australia. And I feel so connected to that continent as a result. And this deck I've seen used mostly by Nina from Shuffle Tarot. And I don't know, every time I see it, I love it. And then I went online to look at it. There's a lovely review on Amazon by none other than Diane Jarecki, Indigo Moon Woman, about these cards. And then I found out she also had the saltwater reading cards, which are on the list, but I'm going to wait till next summer because there are some other cards and decks that I would like to have that are more seasonal. This deck feels to me to be a lot more autumnal, winter. I feel like I'll probably want to work with these all from now until spring. So this was a good time to get them. They're so beautiful. They come in such a beautiful box. Beautiful book. Oh my goodness. Wow. There's a rock pool Oracle reading cards app. Look at that. I had no idea. I have to try and watch that kind of stuff. Oh my gosh, the book is so beautiful. I'm sure everybody's seen these before, I know, but holy cow. Oh, and it smells good. Wow. Oh, I love it when books have that smell. Nice glossy, semi-glossy pages. And a nice little, plastic holder in the bottom of the box. Not much of a smell in the box. They're so pretty. Look at that. And it looks like the little plastic strip did not harm them. Oh, boys, you're choking your mama. Oof. Okay. So, oh my gosh. And I love dot art. Ooh. These are thicker than I would have thought they would be. That's a nice surprise. They're very big. Bat Island. And I would think, ooh, I would think these would go beautifully with my favorite deck, the Marielle. Visually, but also in terms of depth. Wow. Rebirth. Wow, a bushfire. Oh, colors. Yeah. That is stunning. Wow. When I look at decks, it makes me want to get better at digital, like working with digital art. I've had to support some students in digital art classes as a paraprofessional, and that meant learning Photoshop last spring. Wow, these are so beautiful. Eagle. I love eagles and hawks. Oh, I love them so much. Oh, a fig tree. Oh my goodness. Oh, and more firefly. Freshwater turtle. Yeah, look at that. Wow. Man, the colors and the line work that she's done. Oh, I mean, God, that's just stunning. I'm loving this so much. And learning more about her process too, you know, of picking up, look at that, magpies and spoken word. Nina just did that video about corvids, about crows and magpies, and about language. Yeah, her process of working with feathers and found objects, you know, to paint and make the dots, it reminds me a lot of some of the work that I've done with mark making, and a lot more of the work that I really want to come back to. I'm really missing it. I need to get my art practice back in operation. That's going to be a goal this winter. Wow. I mean, I make things here or there, but I used to have it like as part of a practice, really very much part of my self-care practice. Wow. So yeah, I mean, I feel like we've seen these before. Maybe I'll do a walkthrough and talk about them, you know, after I've had a chance to work with them a little bit, but I'm just so excited to open them up and share them. So yeah, anyway, this ended up being a long video, but thank you for sticking it out if you're still here. Yeah, it's just like that right now. This will be a busy week-ish this week, probably pretty busy until Wednesday or so, and then it's going to settle down, and it'll be much easier, much smoother for the rest of the month. So it'll kind of calm down to a reasonable level by the end of the month. And I'll be able to kind of balance my work with other things. So anyway, thank you so much, you guys. I'm sorry the rats didn't come out and hang out with us a little bit more. I thought maybe they would, but they're sleepy, clearly. Lots of good stuff to come this week. I've got some more videos, decks. I'm working with the Sigilla Medievalia right now. Got a lot to say about the Marigold Tarot and a lot to say about Santa Muerte and Tarot de Saint Croix. So there'll be more to come. So watch the space. Thanks for having fun, easy, relaxing Sunday night chit chat with me. See you soon. Bye.